Tired of your old music? We've got you. From pop, country, all the way to jazz. On Thunder 91.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's main event.
Where's the Friday?
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious...
On this blessed Friday, let us give thanks.
So, another Friday is upon us.
G'day, I'm Rob Birdsey. Welcome to my show, Widow, Trio and Freedom. You could watch us live if you want. We're live right now. If you go to YouTube and look up Widowed, Trio and Freedom. So widowed, I'm a widowed dad. Trio, I have 2 kids. Freedom, I talk these stories to get them out of my head and out of my guest's head, and hopefully they can help you guys along as well. Today, I have a great show. I have one of the men's basketball players here. He's a center. He's Kai Burdick. This guy, what a story. I honestly, man, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
I think we're sounding pretty good there. You've got a very unique story, my friend, and this is the thing that I love about it. Like, I don't usually bring someone on of other podcasts, and I kind of poached you off the coach's show, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure. I hope he's okay with that.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Where were you born?
So I'm from San Diego, California. That's where I was born, but I grew up in the city of Carlsbad, which is about 30 minutes north of the main city of San Diego. Just along the beach, along the ocean. That's kind of been my whole life growing up, just being a beach kid.
So the military is around there, huh?
Yeah. The Camp Pendleton base is about 10 minutes north of there. That's pretty big.
Man, that's a beautiful spot in the world, man.
Yeah.
That like regulates temperature all year round. And
yeah.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
It gets a little warm, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd rather be on the warm side versus coming here. It was a big shock.
Is this
real
the coldest
winters?
you've ever been?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think winter to me is still a novelty. I'm from Australia. Obviously, it's red hot over there. It's kind of like being in Vegas in certain parts.
Yeah.
But and when I suppose if you ever been in New York City, that's what winter feels like for Australians in Sydney. It's just that, like, the wind just blows straight through you. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, were you raised with mum and dad still in the same? They still together and all that sort of jazz?
Yeah. Mom and dad have been together my whole life. They actually just celebrating right now their 25th anniversary. They are taking a big trip right now throughout Europe.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
They're having a good time.
Dad.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like they got a strong bond.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun to watch?
Yeah, no, it is. It was really just cool to see growing up, especially, I mean, when you have a lot of friends who are kind of going through different situations and you see that, and just being able to have that strength and connection in the home was huge for me growing up.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'd watch Leave It to Beaver and all that sort of shows way back in the day when I was a little kid. And I would physically just want that in my world because my world was so chaotic.
Yeah.
And, you know, I didn't really have grounding as far as I was a wild kid, man. I was so wild. My parents didn't really care as much as what they probably could have, you know, and I'm sure it was like a kid raising kids situation, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was off the wall, just crazy ADHD, didn't know what was going on, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I learned every lesson the hard way.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah. So you're a bit of a sports guy. You played baseball really well, right? Mm-hmm. You played for school too, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
What sports did you grow up when you were younger? How did that shape you to get into baseball and then eventually into basketball?
Yeah, so growing up, I'd say baseball was the main sport. I'd say everything, honestly. I mean, when I was a young kid, it's like my parents kind of just got me into everything, gave me a chance to play just about every sport and see what I really liked. But baseball was kind of the sport, and it started with my dad. He that had been his sport his whole life. He actually spent a few years with the Colorado Rockies organization. He got drafted out of high school and played a few years with them. And so that was definitely the main sport and something that I felt the passion for early on, and so that was what I began kind of committing to for most of my life.
All because of your dad. What did your dad do there?
He was a pitcher.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, dude.
Yeah.
So were you a pitcher as well?
Yeah, I was.
And what do you throw?
So I was like my pitch types. I was throwing just your basic 4-seam fastball, and then I had a splitter, which was probably my best pitch, just because that's like a pitch that really, if you have big hands, is a really easy one to master, because you kind of you grip the ball, you spread your fingers out really far, and you just rip it as hard as you can. So having big hands for that pitch was nice, and then a slider, kind of your basic breaking ball.
Okay, so explain them to me, because I'm not really
Okay.
up with. So doing the splitter thing.
Yeah.
What was so good about it?
So it just having like big palms and big fingers, like you were really able to grip the ball, and basically that action that pitch gets, like you throw it and it kind of just tumbles. It's almost like a knuckle, but it kind of just tumbles straight down. It's very little spin.
Oh.
And so when you throw it right, it's just top to bottom, no spin, and hitters have a really hard time.
Wow,
Hitting
that would sort of psych them out.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean, when you're in that avenue, like I've never done any baseball. I've done a little bit of cricket.
Yeah.
But I've raced cars, so I know when you're racing cars and you're trying to hit things, like you're on a line, right?
Yeah.
Literally, it's just, if it was a slot car, you just do that 100 times and you
Yeah.
won the race. But when you're there and you're looking for your pivot points, you can see them from a mile away. Right, like they let, okay, I got to hit that, and as soon as I hit that, I turn over here.
Yeah.
So I could just imagine like a ball coming at you like that, and it ain't spinning, and it's just like doing this sort of
Yeah.
thing. Is that the reason why it sort of freaks them
Yeah,
out?
exactly. Like you could maybe see it kind of starting at your chest, and then it drops to your knees immediately.
So you got to
and-
sort of
yeah,
adjust for it.
Yeah, it's a hard one to adjust to.
Wow. Yeah, I had one of my friends actually. He went to college for baseball, and he would talk about how like you would just everything was a rhythm. So
Yeah.
they'd practice batting, so they'd be up here, and then a step 2, and then a step 3, and then
Yep.
follow through, and so you do all that sort of stuff too, huh?
Yeah, yeah. It's easy. Like in practice, you have a game plan and you get things going, and then you step into that game and pitches are moving everywhere, and it's really hard to
Yeah.
stay in that rhythm.
I'd believe it. And then talk about some of the other throws, because it's pretty interesting. So can you make a curve or do anything like that? Or?
Yeah, so I had my other pitch was like a slider. So there's a curve, which is typically like a 12-6 break, or just a straight like up and down spin, versus a slider, which is more like 3-9, which is more horizontal break. It kind of cuts across versus going down, and that's more what I threw.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's all to do with air too, right? The way air hits the ball is just the way you're spinning it.
Yeah, it's really just your grip, and where you release the ball is kind of determines the spin.
Did it take you a while to break that down?
Huh?
Did it take you a while to break that down, or was it always like your
Oh
your
yeah,
dad was
no,
always
I
there
mean
playing?
it's so like once you hit a certain point in like your career, like the changes become so small and minute that it's you're working on such tiny things, but it makes a huge difference.
Getting very specific at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
It's like you're racing. You go out there and you'll throw a lap time up, and ideally, if you're trending in the right area, you're getting faster and faster.
Yeah.
I just took my boys. We were over not long back in Florida. I took them go karting, and they're young and they're watching everything. And they're trying to understand it, and I don't really push my sport onto them. I couldn't afford it even if they wanted to. But B, it's an expensive sport, and it's so ridiculous. You know what I mean, like I wish I picked a bat and ball up, to be honest with you. But going in, going through every round that I had, the boys were watching me.
Yeah.
And I laid out all my times, and you know what I mean. By the end of it, there was another kid there. He was 19 years old, and he killed it. Like the guy was on it, like white on rice.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually got within a tenth to him, and and I moved like 2 minutes of time to get there.
Yeah.
And even that guy comes to me and goes, "How'd you do that, man?" I was like, "I just learned on the track, dude."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then just breaking that down for the kids, it's like as you get specific, you'll start breaking down corners and everywhere if you can cut a shortcut in there. I'm sure that's how it works for you guys too, right?
Yeah, totally. And to like somebody who maybe doesn't know the sport as well, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense explaining that to them, but it's like just these little things that you change will make major differences.
And it's all to do with positioning on the ball and the way you carry yourself.
Yeah, it can be just pitch grips. It can be like release angle. It can be, I mean, it can even go to your actual just mechanics and your like getting into your legs right and just syncing up your timing, and it can be anything.
The whole twist in your body into it.
Yeah.
Like squeezing everything out of you, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, I love that. That's awesome. The people don't realize, though, that's a muscle memory at that stage, right?
Yeah.
So to get a muscle memory going, how many thousands of times are you doing it?
Yeah, I can't even probably put a number on how many times I've done that, especially like baseball and pitching is such a specific athletic motion. You're like compared to other sports like basketball now that I'm running, I'm sprinting, I'm laterally moving versus pitching. I was doing one thing over and over and over again, and that was pretty crazy to try to perfect that.
Yeah, that's valid, man.
Yeah.
How much success did you have? When did you start baseball? When did you finish it? How much success did you have throughout that time?
Yeah, so as I said, I mean, I started pretty young, but I mean, I started kind of realizing I could play collegiately later into high school. I'd say I was a pretty late bloomer because I kept growing. Like I was really tall, but I wasn't. It was hard, especially in high school, to like put on strength and muscle. And so I was tall, but I was really just all limbs, like not a lot of strength. And so it actually, when COVID came around and kind of shut everything down, that's really actually when I kind of took a big jump. And I took that time and really started working out hard and getting stronger. And so that was in the middle of my junior year of high school, my third year. And then when things started clearing up a little bit, I hit my senior year and I just came in so much stronger and better that I started throwing a lot harder. And that's really when the opportunities started opening up for me, and I was getting the looks I wanted for college. And then I eventually went to University of San Francisco, and that was 2 years there, and that was a really good time. And obviously, I ended up, stopping and deciding to play basketball, but I wouldn't change anything about that kind of journey. I really enjoyed it, and all the people I met there.
I think I don't know nothing about either sports really, as far as the mechanics and everything behind it, but it sure would favor you knowing, because I know things about baseball. It's like it's so super repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do things 1,000, 1,000,000, whatever times you do it over and over and over again. So I probably should put on that one there. You're doing things over and over and over again to get the mechanics down, but you're also at the same time you're cutting teeth on discipline, and discipline is it can work you pretty hard, right?
Yeah, it can. But
coming out of that, like taking all of that straight into basketball, it's like your transition probably would have been a bit smoother. Is that right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that totally. I think, like physically, of course, there was a big difference going from baseball to basketball and that sport and then the movements and everything. But I think the habit, like the work habits I built in baseball and like you said, the discipline, that's really what carried me through that early on, especially when I was like struggling to get into the rhythm with basketball. I think just that those work habits, that discipline, that grind that I found in baseball is what got me through that initial kind of hump.
It's just pushing you, huh?
Yeah.
What was the trigger point? Like you did 2 years of baseball. Was there some writing on the walls throughout that, or were you just not getting played? Or what was going on there?
So I think the biggest thing probably was I broke my collarbone my second year. Kind of a crazy accident. I was just going with some friends, getting some food on one of the electric scooters, and I was going down a big hill, hit a bump, and just flew off, and kind of tried to catch myself, stick my arms out, and brace my fall. And then I kind of get up, shake myself off, and then I look over, and my whole collarbone's just kind of sticking out. I'm like, oh, that's probably not supposed to be there.
Ouch! What'd the coach say?
He was pretty upset that it was it happened like that. so that definitely sucked, and it sucked too because my second year fall was really good. Like I had put together a lot of things I learned from my first year, and I was throwing harder, I was stronger, and I was heading into a year that I was expecting to make a big impact.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately that kind of stalled with that injury, and so I missed the first 2 months of that second season. And then when I came back, I tried to kind of make a major mechanical change to how I was throwing. I tried to make a big difference in my arm slot and where I was throwing, and that kind of led to some struggles. And then when you start making big changes and struggling, you start questioning yourself, like mentally, and so that year really ended up snowballing into something I wasn't really expecting that year, and there was a lot of struggles. And so basically that year ended, that second year ended, and I kind of was questioning whether I wanted to do this anymore and just my future at the school. The coaches kind of at my end of the year meeting sat me down and said, like, you can have a spot on the team and you can come back and try to get better and earn your spot again, but nothing's going to be guaranteed, and we're going to be bringing guys in, like, so it was kind of a lot of uncertainty. And so I think with that and kind of the doubt I had with, like, the big changes I had made and just the struggles I had been facing, I think that ultimately led to that decision to, like, maybe I'm not going to do this anymore.
Dude, that's a hard pill to swallow for starters. That's especially when you're in your prime-ish. I mean, you're injured or whatever, but you're coming through that. But to hear those words from a coach is basically him saying, hey, you could really step up a lot. Yeah. And I'm happy to see if you do that, but I'm going to bring someone else in that's probably going to take your job.
Yeah, exactly.
That's brutal. That's like, that's you now working it out. Yeah.
So that all kind of transpired, and then I was playing so baseball, like collegiate baseball. You after your season goes from about February to mid-May or into June if you make a big playoff run. But you basically, your summer, you go play summer ball. There's leagues all around the country that they're college summer leagues. So basically coaches from universities will send their players to different leagues around the country to just get a bunch of extra reps in the summer and kind of continue building on what they were doing in season. So I went that summer, I went to play in a little city called Lincoln. It was in California. It's about 30 minutes north of Sacramento. Oh, wow. So I went there to play summer ball because that had already been planned long before my injuries or anything. Like, I had already had that set up to go play there. And so I was pitching there for about 3-4 weeks, still trying to kind of see if I can get over this kind of hump, like physically and mentally, and bounce back. And then, but that whole time I'm also kind of questioning, like, am I really still going to do this? Do I kind of have this passion, this, like, love anymore? And so and then I remember the exact, moment that I finally decided. I was working out, I was lifting weights and then I step out and I don't know why it just snapped right there, but I stepped out, called my dad, and I'm like, I think I'm going to quit baseball and try to go play basketball. And I mean, to his credit, I'm sure that would have been shocking to hear from someone who committed his whole life to baseball, but really right out of the gates was like, okay, like, let's do it. Just, if you're going to do this, let's commit to it and let's really do it right. And that was pretty cool to hear, that he really from right out of the gate had no doubt that I could do it. And that was pretty cool.
That's really cool, just to have him support, like, hey, if we're going to do it, so he's all systems go. He knows what it takes to do anything that's hard and big. Mm-hmm. Did you have like a pretty high passion for basketball before this? Or?
Yeah, like I had always been a fan of the game. Like I watch it a ton. I mean, I played it obviously not a ton growing up, but because I'd committed most of my time to baseball. But like I would always be messing around with friends, you know, in the rec and doing whatever. And so I'd always really enjoyed basketball, but it had never been something that I had committed time to.
Yeah. It's fun to see you in court. I mean, you stand over top of everybody. You know what I mean? When the balls are your way, it's you have an easier time of getting it in and getting it out.
Yeah,
which I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
but I never knew your story until it was probably one of the last few games that you guys played here. You know, last year or this year, how it works. That always trips me up. Australia, we're all 1 year. We start school at the start of the year, we finish at the end of the year. But over here, because of the way summer is, it breaks up.
Yep.
But I remember talking to someone about it. We're watching the game, and like, yeah, he used to play baseball. I'm like, what? What's he doing here? Yeah, it was not that long ago either. So, what was how the transition going into it? What did you do? How'd you and your dad put a game plan in?
Yeah, so I mean, credit to him because he kind of reached out to really like the few kind of people we knew in basketball, the circle. So. You know, I went back home and we found we got connected with just a trainer in the San Diego area, like just somebody that I could just go work out with a couple times a week and get on the court and just start, you know, just fine tuning my basic skill.
Just going for it.
And he actually was the one who then got me connected. After a couple times, he got me connected with our JUCO coach, the one that I would end up playing at. He reached out to him, said, you know, there's this 7-foot kid who hasn't played much basketball but needs a spot and, you know, could be good.
Wow.
And so he got me connected with my coaches that I would end up playing for the year. And then, you know, it was pretty much from there, just went into the school, started working out with them, practicing with them, and that's about it.
You just fell into line and went for it, huh?
Yeah.
So they started had you as a starter and everything, or just you worked your way into that way?
Yeah,
or?
I mean, it was funny actually. So like the first 4 or 5 games of the year, I was not playing much at all. Like probably, I mean, I was playing less than I was expected to at all. I was probably playing, you know, 4 or 5 minutes a game, like just kind of garbage time, not doing much. And then it was actually, I mean, thank you to my assistant coach there who just had a big like a chat with our head coach and said like, hey, if we want to win, like we need to start playing this guy because not a lot of schools in that area had people my size and like what I could do.
Yeah. So
he talked to him and luckily they got together, and then from there on out I started getting a lot more minutes. I was starting, I was getting the ball a lot more, and then we started winning too, and that was great. And so I mean, yeah, just shout out to Coach Cosby for putting a word in and sticking with me.
Sometimes it takes a good person to have as an advocate. That's really cool.
Yeah,
that's amazing, man. And to be able to come into a team, you're sort of green as green can be.
Yeah.
And to, you know, you already, I mean, let's face it, you're 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
I watched you duck every door coming in. Does that get old?
No, I mean, I think at first maybe, but it's just become habit at this point. I don't even notice anymore.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. No, that's really cool, man. I appreciate that. So coming in, and that was what, just like one season, is it right? With that team?
So that was just one season there. That was the 23 to 24 season.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how new you are here.
Yeah.
It's a basketball in general. So this is really you now starting to get your feet underneath you.
Yeah.
And how does that? Do you go into the portal or whatever? Or how does that work for you to get over to this point? How did you get discovered?
Yeah, so I with JUCO, like I didn't have to enter the portal. I think that's just I'm not sure the actual specifics of it, but like basically D1 or 4-year coaches can just recruit you out of JUCO because that's your next step. You don't need to enter the portal for anything because you're just doing 2 years of school at your junior college before then transitioning to a 4-year. But It was basically with the coaches here and really just coaches anywhere. It took a while for me to kind of get on any radars because obviously I don't think anyone had ever heard of me before that.
You were, yeah.
So I really didn't start getting even a bit of attention until pretty close to the end of our season. We had a good year. I think we finished one game short of winning the conference. I personally, I finished, I was first team all conference. And so that like March, which was about our last couple weeks of the season, is finally when I started getting some calls and some texts and started connecting with coaches. And then I believe it was Coach Williams, Donald Williams, who found me and got connected with our head coach and started talking to me quite a bit, a few times a week, and then eventually had me out here early May, and then a couple days after I got home, I committed here, and that was that.
Were you talking with any other teams, or?
Yeah, I'd say the main team I was talking with was back home. It was UCSD, University of California, San Diego was the other main school that was interested and I was considering at the time. But I thought the opportunity here was better for my development, and I would have more of a chance to play and grow. And
Awesome.
Yeah.
Where are you in college right now? How long are you here for?
So I'm a senior right now, so
Oh.
I'll be graduating spring of
This is
26. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's such a short amount of time for you to get up to speed to go somewhere in basketball. What would like the next procedures for you? Clearly, you're going for it, right? You want to do more in basketball, is that right?
Yeah, I'm still kind of, I guess, unsure of that right now. But I think with how much I've improved, especially this year, it's like, the better you get, the more kind of you get that fever, and like you start realizing, okay, maybe I could actually do this longer. And so that's definitely came into my mind a bit, like extending my career beyond college. So I'm just focused on right now, just this year and seeing what we can do. Like we have a really good team, and I'm going to have an opportunity to make a good impact. And that's really what I'm looking forward to, is just our team this year and seeing just how well we can do.
Yeah. That's going to be good. I mean, it's going to be fun to see. 'Cause you're right. This team right now, everything that I'm hearing, it's got a different feel.
Mm-hmm.
There's I suppose I've seen 2 years of you guys starting and things like that, and I've interviewed a lot of people from your team. So I've seen like last year you were like, we're close but not close enough. You know what I mean? Like, and you could feel that in the air. But this time around, you guys are walking like, we got something.
Yeah.
We got something.
Yeah, exactly.
The camaraderie there alone is probably what the biggest thing that's going to help you guys get to where you need to be. And sounds like you guys got that down pretty good.
Yeah, totally. And I think that was huge, especially like in the summer, having those couple months of summer where it's just us here, no students, like we're just here every day practicing and getting close. I think those couple months in summer are really huge for building that chemistry early on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it definitely helps. And there's so many things that go into a dynamic of a team, especially this day and age. Some people get more money than others.
Yeah.
Some people doing other things, and it's really hard to not have that. Oh, he's getting more than me, or whatever. But it seems like you guys don't have that.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's funny you bring that up. And I'm sure, especially at some high majors like big Power 4 universities, that's probably definitely something that's real. And some players will be like, you're making this much, I'm only making this much. Like that's got to be something for sure. But no, I try not to get caught up on that, because it really doesn't help at all your situation. I mean, knowing what other people are doing, like if you're really just focused on yourself and what you're doing, that's really all that matters.
Yeah, I wish they would take it out of it, to be honest with you. I wish I didn't think anyone should get paid. Because it's just like anything else with anything else. You know what I mean? Like what I'm doing right now, what we've been talking about, I'm producing 2 other podcasts, my podcasts, and I'm starting to do like the football right now. and man, I'm not getting paid a single cent. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Not saying that I should deserve it. I think that when you're doing hard things and it could take you somewhere important, sometimes you got to give it up.
Yeah.
You know, Jimmy Kimmel, right? You know who Jimmy Kimmel is, right?
Yeah.
All the crap that he's going through right now. Good luck. No, just like his story is unique because he worked at a radio station for the longest time.
I didn't know that.
He worked he was Jimmy the sports guy in LA, and he did everything at that station. He'd produce, he'd do all this sort of stuff. And until he got to the point where his personality outshined everything else, and then he takes off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now he's just doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And hammering checks, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's but there's a rite of passage there, and it's a measure of a man in a sense. You know,
Totally.
So you get people like, how old are you?
I'm 22.
22.
Yeah.
I mean, and some of them, I've read stories of like the big universities. People go on there and there's $100,000 check just waiting for them when they walk through their door.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like that's crazy, man.
No, I agree.
You
Like
don't have any brain to do with that.
Yeah, it's got to be earned.
Yeah.
I think and I think it was a crazy like overcompensation, I think, by like NCAA. Basically, like you go from all these years of just kids getting nothing and them also using their name and brand to make money for themselves. Like I get that part of it, but now there's now it's almost they've gone too much in the opposite direction. There's like no limit, no really end in sight for this. So I think they just got to kind of find a way to regulate that a little more. And
or a slow release of money over 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, hey, good for you. You just made $250,000. Can't spend it for another 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that'd be smarter anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
No, that's great. So you're still on the fence. It's fun. I like the way how you're putting your future. It's almost like you would do it if you could. But you're saying to yourself, well, show me, buddy, if we can do it, let's do it.
Yeah.
So you're really focusing in on your technical side to get yourself up to speed. So by the time you leave here, this year could be the biggest year of your life.
Yeah.
Because it really could launch you into something really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And so are you like really, really on top of that? Yeah, I mean, as far as like you got this one, okay. Now I'll tell you another story, right? I worked with Jerry Rice once. You know who Jerry Rice is? Yeah, we did a commercial together. He's such a really nice guy. And I just started, I'm like, I've been like this my whole life. I'm so curious as how did you get better than me? I want to know, how do I get there?
Yeah.
So I'm chatting with him and we're having lunch. Super, super nice guy. He goes, you know what, man? When I could smell the chum in the water, I worked harder.
Mm-hmm.
And he would tell like the story of him breaking things down. The guys would come in and they would all do their workouts or whatever, and then they would leave, and he's still running the stands for the next 3 hours or something crazy. He'd run stands, you do this, and I said, well, do you think it made a difference? He says, oh, 100%.
Yeah.
He goes, by the fourth quarter, I'm still fresh.
Yeah.
And everybody else is,
yeah.
And that's when he would go to work.
Uh-huh.
Do you look at things like that? Like, your position in general, I mean, you guys are running all over the place.
Yeah.
What's your most, where do you atrophy the most? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a personal judgment, and you need to get real with that, right?
Yeah. No, that's true. I think honestly, like the conditioning is, especially playing here. I mean, playing at 6,000 feet.
Isn't that hard? It's like wearing the mask.
Yeah, it's tough. So I mean, especially recently, I've really prioritized, like my diet and hydration. I think are two things that have been huge for me, and I can notice it in real time. Like a day where I get good quality sleep, I eat a good meal, and I drink enough water. Like I can tell on the court where I'm like, okay, I still got some gas left. Yeah. Versus, not enough sleep.
Do you do creatine and things like that? Are you guys allowed to do that? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I was for a bit. Not currently though.
Oh, I mean, creatine does put weight on you.
Yeah.
The thing that I've read about it it holds water in your muscles, right? But the water that it holds is full of nutrients.
Yeah.
So when you're ripping it out, you'll pull from, like, if you're depleted in anywhere else, or if you're fasting or something like that, that's when it starts pulling those reserves out of your muscle.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would play around with creatine, like dose sizes of creatine, and check that out for yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you notice you're getting more out of it, because it's I know that when people fast, if they take creatine, by the end of the day they're okay. They're not actually really hungry.
Yeah.
If you don't take creatine, by the end of the day you're like, I'm ready to eat something. You know what I mean? And that gives you a bit of a leeway of wow, it actually makes a difference.
Yeah.
I take it, and every now and then I stop taking it for a couple of days just to not, and then I notice a difference.
Yeah.
It makes a big, and there's other things too, like there's peptides and all of that sort of stuff that you can go the more natural route. So if you hurt yourself, I would open up in peptides and really go down that rabbit hole and check that out too.
Yeah, I will.
Man, we're getting close to the hour, so I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you got a busy schedule. Is there anything you want to touch on before we close this up?
I got nothing. I mean, if you got anything else, we can get going.
Yeah, okay. I have one question for you.
Yeah.
And I ask this to everyone, right?
Yeah.
And it can do with whatever comes to your mind first. But the question that I have for you is, what makes the difference?
That's just. I think it makes a difference in anything you do. It's all you. I mean, you can have a great support system and you can have people around you, and that's all really important. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's up to you. Like how much you want to do, how much better do you want to be. Like how much do you really want it? I mean, it's all up in here, up in your head. And I think if you can, commit yourself to being great in anything, then that's really all it takes, is just that commitment, and then doing it. And saying it is one thing, but actually doing that is totally different.
Tying it together.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what you were saying about with the baseball, how you did baseball and you did good, but then when you got to college, you started getting very specific with little things, little details.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, my advice for anyone out there that's trying to do different or trying to change habits and things, look at the small value of if it's you're losing weight, push that meal out just a little bit longer. You know what I mean? See the doctor, make sure you're good to do that sort of stuff. But it's a little tiny adjustments that we make that get us through the day. Yeah,
because I mean, once you reach a certain point in anything you do, you're like a certain level, you stop. You're not able to make massive changes anymore that'll make a difference. It starts becoming those really small things that you change that are going to kind of elevate you.
Yeah. I really love that. And then diet is everything. Diet changes. Like I dare anyone, just cut carbs out for like 4 weeks. See how you go. You're going to feel amazing, man. Carbs and some vegetables actually aren't really great for us. It really holds our body back in so many ways. Yeah. You're probably noticing that with your mucking around with the diet, huh?
Totally.
Lots of meat, lots of proteins.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. Yeah.
Good work. Kai, thanks for coming in, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to spend here and tell your story, and hopefully help some people out there.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, cheers everyone. Thank you so much.